Hey there, Ashland. It's Martha Miller here with your town tea for the week of January 19th. So, council met this week, and a couple things on the agenda that I want to call out to you. And for all the rest, you can head to our website for the minutes and recording. First up, we have two new elected officials here in the town of Ashland, the cat police chief, Troubleman, and the dog mayor, Wilbur, were both sworn in ahead of the council meeting there on Tuesday. And you can see that in the recording, and we'll also be posting some pictures welcoming them to our elected officials rankings here for the town of Ashland. And thanks to their owners who were great sports, bringing their pets into town hall. And it was a fun and lively start to the meeting. So be sure to check those pictures out once we get those up. Secondly, the other thing that council took action on at the meeting was a memorandum of understanding for homelessness outreach services. This is a partnership between the town of Ashland, the Ashland Foundation, and the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care, which I may or may not have mentioned on here before, but that is the entity that coordinates regional response in the Metro Richmond area to those experiencing homelessness and provides those outreach services. Homeward is the local nonprofit in the Richmond area that serves as kind of the administrator of that. So the agreement would include $10,000 coming from the town of Ashland, which was already allocated in the last budget cycle, that would go to Homeward, and those funds would be able to be used to assist individuals experiencing homelessness in the town of Ashland with things that will transition them out of homelessness into a more stable situation. So things like first and last month's rent, getting a replacement identification from DMV or birth certificates so that they can gain employment, those kinds of things. And again, those are only eligible for those experiencing this in the town of Ashland. The idea being is that it is a gateway, hopefully a bridge, funding bridge, to help individuals transition out of that instability. So more to come on that. The Ashland Foundation role in that is the Kindness That Counts campaign, which I've talked about before, and you can learn more about on our website as well as at ashlandfoundation.org. That is a crowdfunding component of this, in which donations can be made to that campaign from the public, anything from $5 to however much you would like to give. And it will also go into this fund to help individuals experiencing homelessness in Ashland. A little more to come on that. We'll be doing a more concerted push to promote that campaign. The idea being is that we're really trying to encourage those in the community that are concerned about homelessness in our community, housing instability in our community, to pool their resources in this fund and really get it to the outreach partners that are most equipped to help these people with sometimes very complex barriers to getting into a more stable housing situation. So look for more to come on that. But in the meantime, check out ashlandfoundation.org and under give, you will see that explained in a little bit more detail. All right, other things happened at council. There were some zoning amendments and things like that that happened, or referral to planning commission. But for the sake of time, I would encourage you just to check out the recording or minutes on those if you would like more information on what happened there. So next up, obviously, the big topic of everyone's mind right now is the oncoming winter storm. The town is actively preparing for that. If you have not seen it already, please go to our social media page or our homepage. We have activated the snow emergency routes effective on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. What does that mean? If you live on one of these routes and you regularly park your vehicle on that street, you need to move your vehicle by 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, or it may be towed. There's no guarantee that the snow routes, emergency routes, will need to be activated, but we like to give a precaution so that people don't come out and find their car missing. So please, you can see a map and a full list of those impacted streets. It's most of the major roadways and a lot of roadways over near the College of Randolph-Macon's campus. But please go check out that full list just to make sure and be sure to relocate your vehicle off of the street ahead of the storm coming this weekend. Other details forthcoming. I've had a lot of inquiry kind of going back to those experiencing homelessness, concern about what those who are lacking sufficient shelter are going to be doing during this storm. So there's a regional response, some warming shelters that are open, and to my knowledge, as of date, with what our last check, are under capacity. I will be sharing a full comprehensive list of those resources on our social media pages ahead of the storm so that you can point folks in the direction of those should they have questions. Hanover County is also going to be releasing a more concrete plan around warming stations, charging stations, and should it be needed, um, areas for water distribution pickup after the storm is over. Again, this is all contingent upon the need, depending on how much of an impact the storm has. But as soon as I have those details from Hanover, we will share them. But also, I would encourage you if you to also make sure you're following Hanover County's channels for that information as well. And then I just want to do a quick shout out ahead of the storm and thank our public works teams, our Ashland Police Department, who will be out there around the clock working to try to keep our roads clear and safe, clearing any downed limbs or trees from the ice impacts that are now being expected. So just thank you to those who are out there while we're all safely at home. And then the last quick mention, I don't have details again yet on this, but we've received a lot of inquiries about the Walk for Peace, and that is the monks who are walking from Texas to Washington, D.C., who are currently in North Carolina at last check. Their original route had them coming through Richmond and potentially through Ashland. With the storm, they may be changing their route. So we will be sharing information as we have it. At the soonest, they were looking, they might be in our area early February. February 2nd was the time frame that we were given initially. But again, it's all subject to change with these huge storms coming through. They may be taking some days off or rerouting. So again, we know there's a lot of interest in the community. And if I have anything to concrete to share, I'll be working with Randolph Macon on that as well, because they have been in touch with the organizers. So just stay tuned. It's on our radar, and we'll be sure to share that with the community if we have something soon. All right, Ashland, stay safe out there and warm. Bye bye.